Hey guys, how's it going? RonMan coming back at you, and today I'm going to review Batman Return of the Joker for the NES. Also, if you're new here and you like my content, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as that bell notification so you stay up to date with RonMan Gaming. Batman Return of the Joker was developed and published by Sunsoft for the NES in 1991, and is a follow-up to Batman released the year prior. It was also ported to the Sega Genesis under the title Batman Revenge of the Joker. A Game Boy version was released, but because it's so different, it's not really a port, it's just kind of its own game. In Return of the Joker, Batman is called on by Gotham City and is told about the Joker's secret hideout and the fact that he's been stealing metal, poisonous metal to be exact, and is probably going to use the metal to create missiles. Return of the Joker is primarily an action side-scroller. There are 7 stages, all with a couple levels each. It's not a very long game, but it does have a decent challenge, although thankfully you have unlimited continues. On top of that, there's a simple password system in case you don't want to beat this all in one sitting. You'll see 3 types of stages: standard action platforming, shoot 'em up, and these one-to-one boss fights. The boss fights are pretty unique, as you get a completely different life meter as you take on whatever boss you're up against. Considering how tough this game can be, it's nice that these boss fights aren't too difficult, except the Joker, but I'll get to him in a bit. I think this game's biggest strength is the variety. I already mentioned the 3 different level types, but even within those 3 level types, there's a lot of diversity between the stages. For example, you might be marching through a snowy mountain, or following underneath a hostile zeppelin. The controls in Return of the Joker work well. Batman jumps with A, shoots with B, and down plus A allows you to do a slide. If you were hoping to lay the smackdown on your enemies with your fists, well, you're out of luck here unfortunately, as your only way of attack is shooting or sliding. Speaking of attack, there are multiple weapons you'll come across. Throughout the game, you'll frequently find these ammunition boxes with a single letter imprinted on them. The letter signifies which weapon you'll receive upon collecting. If you shoot the box, you can change the letter, thus changing the weapon you'll receive. The weapons are all different, and I found certain weapons are better for certain situations. I mentioned that you have a slide move. If you slide through an enemy, you'll cause damage. For me though, I found the slide to be a better dodge mechanic to avoid oncoming attacks. Be careful though, it's easy to slide off a ledge and die.
You idiot!
Both the graphics and the music here are great. Sunsoft games always seem to have awesome music. Batman Return of the Joker overall is a pretty solid game, but it's not perfect. Although the level design here is pretty good, there are many times where you'll be damaged by something that quickly flies in from off screen. If this only happened a few times, I could forget about it. But no, it happens throughout the whole game. Stage 3-1, for example, the whole stage is made up of shit that flies in so fast that you don't have enough time to react. You need to memorize the stage and take it slow. You'll probably die a lot, but at least you have unlimited continues. Also, there are no health pickups or checkpoints in any level. It can get kind of frustrating if you die right at the end of a stage because you'll have to go back to the beginning. Admittedly, the stages are not long and this really isn't a big deal at all. Another thing that kinda sucks, you'll collect these orbs, and when you've collected a certain number of them, you'll power up and become invincible with a supercharged weapon. Well, this can be great, but so often I got this ability when I didn't need it. What a waste. Okay, now let's talk about the Joker. You have to fight him twice, but for whatever reason, the first fight with the Joker is the hardest. Now, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. This fight is horseshit. The Joker is not hard because he's smarter or more advanced than the other bosses, no. In fact, he's much the same as the other bosses, you just have to memorize his patterns. What makes the Joker hard is how much life he has and how much damage he does to you. Furthermore, you do so little damage to him, at least with the default weapon. This is one hell of an endurance round. He often pops out these bubbles, and if you touch one, it does 5,000 damage. If you die, and you probably will, and you had a good weapon, well, you'll get downgraded back to the default weapon. If you get a game over, you'll have to replay the stage leading up to the Joker, the auto-scrolling tank stage. But guess what? There are no weapon pickups in this stage at all. So if you died even once on the Joker, you'll have to beat him with the default weapon. It takes forever to kill him, and you can die so fast. This is a really long, tedious fight, and you better not make too many mistakes. This is where the slide move really comes in handy, although dodging the bubbles is still pretty tricky. After about 20 tries, I finally kicked his ass. After this awful awful fight, you're rewarded with one more bullshit hard as balls level. Then the final showdown with the Joker, and thankfully this fight is so much easier. But why is the first fight so much harder than the second and final Joker fight? The second fight only took me like 3 tries. So that's really it. This game's pretty short. I beat it probably within 2 hours on my very first playthrough. Yeah, there are some annoying things about it, but overall it's pretty fun. If you're looking to get a physical copy of this game, right now at the time of this video, price charting has it listed at just over $97 Canadian, which is 77 US dollars. And for that price, I really wouldn't recommend it, but if you play games any way you can, then this isn't a bad way to spend a few hours. Okay, so I know it's a little weird that I reviewed this game first before the original Batman game. Truth be told, I really didn't plan to review this. It was just a lazy Sunday afternoon. I was looking at my shelf of games, I saw this, I popped it in, I started playing, suddenly I met the Joker, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I should review it. So then I started recording gameplay footage, and well, here's the review. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching, I really do appreciate that. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.